you would technically take this path here like that. Let me see whether dab can do that. How should I do that? How does dab work? Technically, just like that. So you want to brute force from this endpoint, from this particular endpoint, from this API. Then you want to see the possible combinations of endpoints that can be available from there, like that, and you just hit enter and wait for it. This is just a simple scan. We have not even specified our output path or something, or our word list of our choice. Uh, Found nothing, but you guys can try later with the word list of your choice. Uh, this was some basic recon. You just identified uh, an API endpoint. The next thing I recommend to do is checking the JS files. Uh, for example, you can just reload this. Nothing here. We now inspect. Should be, where should that be? Where do I see the files? Let me reload this and see what kind of files are being pulled from the server. I just need to reload this, and yes, we have some JS files here. So I'm gonna search in this. I search. Let me see whether I have something like API. Nothing in the URLs that are being pulled. Also, we have to check the JS. We have this JS here. Response. Nothing. And I find we have to look for something like API. We are looking for API endpoints. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Next JS file. Control like this now, like this. Here. Let's find where is the API here. Can you guys see that?
In
Uh, we are trying to find if you can see the any API endpoint that is being included in this JS file. We have just inspected the JS file, and then we are searching for the keywords. This technically used for anything. If you are looking for maybe keyword or API key or something like password, something like that. But our main focus here is API. So we are just looking for API. That having of interest, we have an endpoint here. API out again. That's interesting. Next, we have determined that we have an API slash b2 slash user. That's interesting. Next, sign up. We have seen also we have a reset password API endpoint. Huh. We have API slash check OTP, and we can also see that that is version 3. Mm, technically, a lot of endpoints. The next one, API v2 add vehicle, and this is just basic recon. You are not even interacting with the API. You are not sending any request or trying to pull any data. So after you have done your recon, that was that was the part one. That's actually like part three. You are now identifying the attack surface. So you have you have the API endpoints here, but you have just identified the attack surface. You are not aware of the business logic. You don't know the specific API endpoints, API v2 slash add vehicle, what it does. And we have another one here, API v2 verify mail and such. You have no idea how this API is, and you don't know whether the method gets or post or delete or such. This is just basic recon, and you are identifying the attacks. So that's why I was saying you don't have to follow this specific path. You can just do it on your way of choice. For instance, I don't know whether we have time. Maybe we can. We don't have time for that. It's going to take a lot of time. But before you start attacking the API that you have at hand, you have identified the attack surface. You have pulled all the available API endpoints. You have brute force that and all that. So the next thing I would advise to do is interact with the API as just as a normal user, uh, while checking the how the requests are being sent and what kind of data is being pulled and such. Let me just show you how to do that. Then if you don't have a lot of time, let my BAP launch. Taking a lot of time. My MacBook is a bit slow these days. Perfect. Uh, Please don't judge me. I use at this time I prefer Chrome, the the inbuilt Chromium. I don't use Foxy proxy and intercepting the traffic. That's just too much work for me. I just prefer using the inbuilt Chromium. I'm gonna have this email with me. I'm waiting for Chromium to launch. Yes, I should close some of these applications taking up a lot of my RAM. Let me close this torrent. So purposely, I just like using Chromium because it stores the HTTP traffic. Just that I just like confirming what was sent and just seeing it without having to intercept and all that. So I'm just going to log in with a saved password. So I was saying, as part of Recon, you are trying to identify the attack surface or and such. You just don't launch a web application. Find the API, just send the request of the postman and start attacking it. So you just don't do that. That's not a proper way. The best thing would be if you have an e-commerce site or a social media site. The best thing would be if it's a social media application. Try create a profile, like the post, make new post, try to delete post, and try following other people and all that. If it's an e-commerce site, try buying something, try updating your cart, deleting items from your cart, and all that. For example, like for this one, we have a I showed you a community tab here. So we have like a forum where users can post comments, post and such. Just use the application as a as a user is expected to be doing. Create new post, like for example, have a we can create a post. Well, let's be this date 26th of April. A description. Hmm. I'm lazy. I don't want to type anything. Maybe I should copy something from I should copy something from here. I should be fine. Then like that, and add a new post like that. What I would recommend is having the inspector tab on, inspecting the net. I just don't like Chrome dev tools, so I prefer having my application on this side, then having my BAP on this side, then moving to HTTP history, and then having it like that. So I'm gonna try to create a new post here. You can see no requests. We have 40 requests currently, yeah, and so we create another post. So mhm, the title is the Shield Kenya, like that, and a description. Let me steal a description somewhere, like that, and then paste, and then remember to have your BAP by your side, and then click here and watch the requests that are being sent. For instance, we have seen that whenever you click this button, whenever you click this button, you have a post request that is sent to this API endpoint community API v2 community post. So what I do is I click on that, You might want to send it to repeater maybe as control and R, and now you have a chance to examine it. So you are having a post method. You have the host here. The so we have an abbreviation there here. The title and the content. So you are mapping the attack surface. Like here, for example, you have identified that for this endpoint, this community API, the two communities, and all that, the required parameters are just the title and the content. You can actually try. You can actually try different things here. Like you can try delete the content maybe, and then let me put this side by side, and then send the request. Ah, you have your first error there. You can see that the API is giving you 400 bad request response, an invalid character, that one, whatever that is. So what you do now is maybe try redoing that. We can just do that with Control and Z again. So you have your title and the content, and try resending the post. And so we have seen that when you supply the content and the title, the response is you expect is a 200. And something of importance is to note that every post you make is given an ID. The title was already there, the content was already there, but you also notice that the user info who posted the who posted the post or who sent the post is the user info is returned. Technically, there are a lot of things you can do with this. Uh, for example, there was one site I tested a few days ago. So someone might wonder how did the server determine that this was the user who sent this request. And you can see here we have an authorization there. This all information was fetched from the server using this authorization there. That means if you could find a way to steal someone else authorization there and compose a post using the authorization there, you'd technically receive back their nickname, which is definitely the username, their email, is necessary for this kind of assistance. And when you can also see their profile picture and when the account was created. We talked about this vulnerable application some few weeks ago. We identified that we saw that this vulnerable application is designed whenever a user creates an account, they are they are assigned a vehicle. They are a vehicle of their own. And to get that vehicle, you are assigned a vehicle number, and then you can be able to get the location here. I guess you guys can see how this can be attacked by having all this information returned back to the user by just creating a post. Given that this information is not being passed anywhere in the front end to be shown by the user after creating an account. This is too much, given that we are just we are just at mapping the attack surface and such. Uh, my main point was that when you have that application, where you have to test on site that the application uses APIs to handle the requests. You have to explore all the available functionalities. If it's a community, try accessing. If there is a functionality to delete a post that you made, if there is a functionality to like a post that was made, try all those functionalities. Then go back to your BAP proxy HTTP history, and then check all those requests that are being sent to the server. Check their responses, what the requested are, what kind of responses are being sent, and all that. Uh, for example, you can see that. Let me show you something here. Whenever you create a post, the post is then fetched, there is a request that is sent to the server to retrieve all the posts, and also there is a request that is sent to get a get request to user a dashboard. And you can see what kind of information is being displayed by that dashboard. So we have a JSON Web Token here that accompanies the API endpoint, and then we have the user information here. For example, you can see my name, my email, phone number, my picture, video, and all that. At this point, you are just the API endpoints and all that. It was graph where you would find out whether mine can launch. They should have shown you example of OS command injection in but just that's going to take a lot of time. You can try that next time. My main point is that you have to test every functionality on the application that you are testing. We have a shop here, we have a dashboard, we have everything here. You have to test every functionality that is present. Like if there is a if you can buy something, try buying that. That means it was added to cart, and this is your cart. Go back to your BAP history, the HTTP history, and the request should be somewhere down here because it's one of the reasons. That must have been a post request. Send that to repeater. Let's see whether there is something more interesting here. And so we have an API endpoint workshop API shop or that in that, and then we can see that we have in the request we have a product ID number 1, and we have quantity was 1. The authorization is who is determining who is placing the order. Let's see whether we can replay the request. Order was sent successfully. Let's see whether we can be able to change the parameters, like product ID was number 1. We change that to 2. Oh, perfect. We change that to 3. Perfect, and all that. So that means to place an order to your cart, the request that is being sent is just the product ID and then the quantity. For example, we check this for placing a seat. A seat we show was product ID number 1, and we placed 1. So maybe we should try and see whether we can place 1,000 orders or 10,000 orders. Perfect. and all that. So what you are doing, this is not a passive recon. This is active recon. You have to you identify all the API endpoints, uh, how the API handles the data, what data is necessary, and I don't know how many times I have to say this. Then after you are done changing the parameters from the request from back, maybe you can come back and reload from the GUI and see if there was something that was loaded. You can see that all the you are able to change the cut from the backflip repeater. Uh, yes, that should be it. Uh, unless we have any questions.
Uh, Thank you so much, Mike, for that insightful session. Um, I think I've seen a few questions. There's someone asking whether you'll be able to share the slides. Should be possible. We'll
Yeah,
plan
I'm
on
gonna
how.
share the slide.
Yeah, we'll plan on how we'll make sure that all you get the slides. Someone also asked, what should I learn before starting with API hacking?
I let me just read the question.
Okay.
Okay, so someone is asking why do you have it installed then? Google Chrome. I can't share my screen from Firefox. It seems to have some microphone problem, so I have to switch to Chrome when I have a meeting. Question answered. Uh, Previously the screen was struck. Now it's okay. Okay. We'll have some QA. Share questions. Okay. Can you zoom? Oh, I did not see that. Can you zoom in your terminal? Brian, what did you want to see? You can answer that. To start with API hacking, do I need some background of some sort, or can I just drive in edit? What should I learn before starting with API hacking? What should I learn before? Well, before you start learning to hack anything, you simply just have to learn how that something works. So you want to learn how to hack APIs. Just go out and learn how API works. That means if you're interested in web APIs, you have to learn how web applications communicate. Uh, what else? Well, you just have to learn how websites work. I guess that's just it. So if you want to learn how to hack APIs, just learn how APIs work. There's a lot of documentation with they technically just look like the same thing. So you don't have to learn how this REST work, how the other REST work. So if you learn how RESTful APIs are built, how they are meant to work, that's just it. You should be good to go. Someone asked, "Is this from API Sec?" What was that? I don't know what was that. Please share the hacking books bug bounty. Sure. We have the my favorite books. Two of them that I'm currently reading was one of them is Black Hat GraphQL. There's a link of that should be available online. Black Hat GraphQL PDF. Yeah. Wow. This Firefox is boring. Let me just try that from Chrome. black art graph ql.pdf. And the next one, my MacBook wants to hang. Okay. The next is API hacking dot PDF. Somebody had shared it on GitHub. Yeah, this should be it. This is the early access one. And then we have this. So the first one, yeah, is the first book that was from GitHub. The next one is from this link. And that should be it. And then I will share the slides for today later. Please share the hacking books. That's it. John Collins, Brian, David. Also, kindly recommend and share material links for API hacking for beginners. For total beginners, I'd recommend YouTube. There's this girl. She has some. I don't know whether it's a girl or a boy. I'm not sure, but the name is. Let me see if I can find that channel. It is kind of slow. The name is. Ah, here is it. She has all the information you'd need about an introduction to REST, APS hacking, GraphQL, all that introspection, endpoint analysis, uh, such nice videos. I watch almost all of them. Let me share it channel here. I think that should be it. And you have another question?
Can't see
Oh,
any other one.
someone someone asked about the movies. No, they are not my. I downloaded that for my cat. She likes those movies a lot.
Okay.
I'm a busy man.
Okay. I think that's it for the questions from
Oh,
the audience.
and I think last time I let me see whether my postman should work. Someone asked how we use postman. I hope it works today. This one is behaving especially when I need it most. Uh, I guess it works. So the first thing you have to do is create a new collection. Let me call mine today test. And you have that. The next thing you have to do is add a HTTP request. So, for example, we go to BAP, we have this the host here. We copy the host uh, there, and then we have the endpoint. Endpoint is this one. Copy that, paste it into here, and what you can do is try send the request. I hope it doesn't fail. It'll be fine. We have an error here because in this request there was some request errors that are being required. The first thing is the authorization there. We have this one. Copy that. Uh, because we assume for this instance, for example, the one that we had logged in this all these requests to anything you have the MIME type as JSON is technic, uh, technically requiring the the authorization there, which is a JWT token. That I guess you can use. I like what is that? You have a JWT extension, right? So JSON web tokens. Let me see whether I usually install it and remove it for. We copied so we have I guess it shows. I don't know why it's failing, but whatever. So we have this authorization there. We copy that. For this collection that we are doing, technically you can have as many requests as you want. For let me see whether I have one where I have. You can see, for example, like this one. For this collection, I was having a lot of endpoints that I was testing, and you can just name them. For example, this one, you can name this request. You can name it as orders. You can see the name change here to orders. So the authorization data that we had from it was assigned to us when we logged in. You have to add it here. So that you go to this test here. We have the type for authorization here, and then should be GWP bearer. No, should be not that. Bearer token, I guess should be that. And then we have the token here. We paste it and save. Then we come here back to orders. The API endpoint, try resending the request. Nothing. We still have some data which we have not included. That was the product ID and the quantity that we wanted. So we copy that back to Postman. And then what we are using is we have to include something in the body. So we click on the body. These are some raw text, but it's some JSON, and we're including that in our request. So we copy that. You can beautify it to look like some decent JSON and resend the request. Oh, we are still having some error. I don't know where that error is coming. Let me resend that from BAP and see whether. Oh, insufficient balance. I guess this is the request that you should be getting from. Oh, you guys are not telling me. The request is a post request, but we are sending a get request. So you just change that to post. And you can see the same response that we are getting from VAP, uh, this one here, insufficient balance, is the same response that we are getting from here. If technically, if you try that from because we have an account that we have just purchased a lot of things, we don't have so much balance. We can try that from another account. It should be work fine. Let us log in here and see if you get another authorization key which you can use to purchase because they are different accounts. So we are going to the first thing we are doing is inspecting the elements. Go to network, and then go to community where an API, you are sure an API call is being made. We have this one. So we expect to have some authorization there. Here we have this one. So we check this, copy it, come back to postman, authorization, delete all this, paste it, save, back to request, send, and you can see that the order was sent successfully. If you are maybe we can try buying something else. Quantity. These are some of the functionality that you should basically be testing in API. For example, trying to buy a negative number, a negative quantity, like you need to buy -5 of something, and uh, and see what kind of response you get, insufficient balance, and something like that. And this request that we made, and we bought 10,000 of items. We come back here to this guy's cart, past orders. You can see that this guy was able to. Actually, we can just have this, inspect this network tab, reload this, and we have a get request here that was made to the server. So we have a past orders should be. Let me see where that works from Postman. If it has no JWT token here, maybe it should work. We add a request here, call it past, forget, paste that, nothing, nothing important. Let me see how that was. Mhm. I want a request that was made to an API so that we can replay it from yeah, from Postman. These are get all the orders that this particular guy has saved. So past orders, you can just replace that with API and something, and you remember that we just issued the JWT token that is being used here. It would be somewhere here down. This one. This is the same JWT token that we have here. So if you resend this request, you can see the orders that that guy has made. So I think that should be it. At least my postman has not misbehaved today. I think I'm done.
Okay. Um, I don't know if there are any more questions. Someone asks, Babsuit is an electron app.
What is an electron app in the first place? I don't
I,
know.
I don't know what they mean by that.
Well, I
Um,
think I have to consult. to consult my friend on that. What do you mean by an election app? I have no idea. Maybe you can clarify on that.
Yeah,
Eh,
Brian, kindly
My friend,
clarify.
my friend is kind of busy. He's not responding fast.
But I've searched and it says Babsuit is not an electron app.
What is an election app? Oh, why are you answering fast than my chat GPT?
An electron app is a type of desktop application that is built using web technologies such as HTML, CSS, and JS.
No, I think that is made by Java.
Yep.
I guess that should be right. Yeah, Backstreet is made using Java. It's a desktop application, not a web application. Uh, a popular pen testing tools comes by default with most Linux distributions, uh, especially the Debian distros and all that. Basic basic vulnerabilities for beginners can try in the beginning. For APIs, there is nothing hard in APIs. There is technically nothing hard. Most of the time, it just includes changing the just one parameter and you are done. There is if you reference from OWASP top 10. I guess I sent that. Uh, if you reference from this, for the broken object table variation, most of the time you'll have a like this. Uh, you'll have an endpoint like this that has a variable as a parameter here. Like you'll have a most of the time, most of them will issue a session key, and it will be pulling orders from the database using a GET request, just like that. So you are likely to have a GET workshop API shop orders, and then we'll have a user ID here. Uh, this vulnerability is the most exploited vulnerability in APIs. It's the most exploited. Yes, it's the just the most simple and the most basic. So I wouldn't say there is something that is hard in APIs. You just need to just read the available documentation, and that would be it. What's top 10 APIs? Oh, that is beyond the scope of this of this meeting. If there's no more questions, I think we are done here. Until next time. If there's no more questions, I think we can.
Thank